36 hours away at this point from the NBA trade deadline. I think the Knicks are going to make a move, and we're going to keep you covered. We're going to be live on the channel on Thursday, starting at about 12 p.m. Eastern time, breaking down everything that happens across the NBA, as well with the New York Knicks. So go down right now, hit that big red sub button, sub for Knicks Dubs, and I better see you Thursday on our draft special. Sean with the first question. He says, if you had to bet money who was the coach of the Knicks next year, I'd say Tom Thibodeau, because I don't know anybody else that it would be. It's either going to, in my opinion, if I had to bet, it would be Tom Thibodeau or it would be Johnny Bryant on the bench. Sean, I appreciate you. Johnson, you with a $25 super chat. My man says, honestly, do you think the Knicks will make a move? You feel like Leon going to be, we're okay with what we are? I think the Knicks will make at minimum one trade, and that being Cam Reddish. We've heard Reddish in talks. According to Ian Begley, he said he's heard Cam Reddish has had talks with the Detroit Pistons as well as the Denver Nuggets. Those are two new teams. We also talked about the Cleveland Cavaliers on the channel. I think Cam Reddish is the one guaranteed move that's going to happen, Johnson, you. But I do think that the Knicks could make another move. I don't see why not. Yeah, I think they're going to make a move. Mads with a $20 super chat says, would you make out with Brunson in real life? No, I would not. But I appreciate the $20 super chat, my man. Go Knicks. I do love me some Jalen Brunson, though. Best player. Oh, my gosh. Best player the Knicks have had since Carmelo Anthony. Frank with a $100 super chat. Frank, you are an animal, my friend. Super City 55 says, is D Rose going to be traded to a contender? There was actually a report that came out from Mark Stein earlier today. He said Milwaukee has expressed trade interest in New York's Derrick Rose ahead of Thursday's 3 p.m. trade deadline. We've also heard Cam Reddish has been linked to the Milwaukee Bucks. So could we see maybe Derrick Rose and Cam Reddish for Grayson Allen? We know that's a name that the Knicks have checked in on. We've done videos on that before. All I know is this. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because when news breaks, when rumors come out, if the Knicks make a trade, we are going to break it down as soon as possible. YouTube.com/KnicksTV. Videos every single day. We're also going to be live for the trade deadline on Thursday. Hit that big red button and turn on your notification so we see you then. As Free Mans for Life says, should we trade for Johnathan Isaac? I'm not against trading for Johnathan Isaac, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't worried about his injury history that has started to stack up in his young NBA career. I don't think he's played for like 2 years. He's finally back with the Orlando Magic. We saw him last night against the New York Knicks. I like Isaac. I like the long, athletic defender that he is. But I wouldn't give up premium assets to trade for a guy like Johnathan Isaac. I like him, but I'm not giving up too much for a guy like Isaac. And I don't even know if the Magic would be open to trading him. He seems like he's the type of guy that fits what they're looking for. Long wings that can defend and finish inside. I am Jules 13 says, who's the one player who you think the Knicks will actually make a trade for? Well, I'm just going to go off the latest Ian Begley reports right here. He said that the Knicks have been in contact with the Detroit Pistons and the Denver Nuggets on Cam Reddish. And that makes me believe that the Knicks could be interested in either Saddiq Bey or Bones Hyland. We've heard reports from Begley on Saddiq Bey, and there's reports coming out of Denver that they could move Bones Hyland for a first-round pick. So could you move that Detroit pick that you own that's top 18 protected with Cam Reddish and get back Bones Hyland? A guy that can come off the bench, could play next to Emmanuel quickly, and he's a bucket getter, averaging 12 points per game this season. Not the most efficient guy, but a sniper from deep, 37.5+% from downtown. That's definitely a possibility. And Saddiq Bey, a Villanova guy. I'm a fan of Saddiq Bey. The defensive numbers are intriguing on him. They say he's not that good of a defender, but he was at Villanova. The three-point percentage sits at 34.6%. But in the last 29 games of the season, Saddiq Bey is shooting 39.7% from downtown on 6 attempts per game. If I could get Bones Hyland or Saddiq Bey, I would consider the trade deadline a success. I think that brings what the Knicks need. More shot takers and more shot makers. I do want to ask this question, though. Pick a player. If you can only have one of these guys to trade for on the New York Knicks, who would it be? Type BH for Bones Hyland. Type SB for Saddiq Bey. I'd probably go Saddiq Bey because it gives you more wing versatility, and I just like the fact that he's almost shooting 40% from downtown in like the last 30 games. I think a backcourt of Bones Hyland and Emmanuel Quickley would be electric. They're two of the most electric scorers in the game. I love them both, but I'd roll with Saddiq Bey. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Randy, New York Knicks says, would you trade RJ Barrett for OG Anunoby? Oh, that is an interesting question, Randy. I would. And that hurts. That hurts me to say that. I am one of the biggest fans of RJ Barrett, but the inconsistencies, the streakiness, the steps back he's taken on defense, and half the reason I'm saying this is because I don't think a big three of Brunson, Barrett, and Randall long-term are going to get you to where you want to be. I think it's pretty obvious the Knicks are going to stick with Brunson, and they're going to stick with Randall, which leaves Barrett as the odd man out. I just think if you are rolling with Brunson and Randall as your top two dogs, you need that small forward position to be an elite 3-and-D player, and that's not really what RJ is. I would include RJ Barrett in a trade for OG Anunoby. I know that's not going to make me a popular guy amongst Knicks fans, but I got to be honest. I would. OG Anunoby, in my opinion, is a top 5 wing defender in this league. He shoots 37% from downtown, and he averages almost 18 points per game as the 4th option in Toronto. You got Pascal Siakam, you got Scotty Barnes, and you got Fred VanVleet that are all getting shots above OG Anunoby, and he still finds a way to average 18 points per game. And did I say he's a 6'8 wing defender? That's a top 10 guy in the league. I'd hate to see RJ go. I really, really would. But sometimes you got to make risky decisions. And I don't even know if that the risky is the right word. You got to be scared money, don't make money. And I don't want to hold on to the RJ Barrett chip for too long, and that value continues to go down. I think RJ Barrett's going to be a good pro. I would do it for OG Anunoby. I would. Clown me in the comments. I would. Sean says, any free agents coming up that the Knicks could offseason? I'm going to be honest, Sean, I haven't really looked at the free agency market coming up. But when you have guys on your roster like RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle, as well as Evan Fournier, you're not going to have the most cap space. The Knicks will be looking at that mid-level option, a mid-level exception, but I haven't done that. Look, I'm focused on the trade deadline right now, Sean. Jay Liv says, what's the most impressive victory of the season, Celtics or Sixers? I think it's got to be Celtics, right? I mean, you beat the Celtics without Mitchell Robinson in TD Garden. The win against the Sixers was awesome, but I think the Celtics are better than the Sixers. So I would go with the Celtics win. That was an awesome win. Big shot by RJ Barrett late in that fourth quarter. I didn't forget that. Will Latimer says no KD in the All-Star game equals JB11. He also saw Kyrie Irving go from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference. Jalen Brunson deserves to be an All-Star. He just does. He's been a top, call me crazy, I think he's been a top 5 point guard in the NBA this year. I really do believe that. I think if you are awarding the most valuable player award off of what it means as in most valuable player, how is Jalen Brunson not in the conversation? He's brought Julius Randle back to being a good player. Without Jalen Brunson, the Knicks would be a bottom 5 team in the NBA, and they're close to being a top 5 team in the East with him. Jalen Brunson's been electric this year. He should absolutely be an all-star. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. I know some of you guys are probably upset with my RJ Barrett take, but Pat, I want this in the cut. Am I out of bounds with that. Like, I don't know. Someone else, give me another voice. And, don't just agree with me. Give me your ball take here.
For the OG Anunoby.
Would you trade RJ Barrett for OG Anunoby?
Well, personally, I think OG is a better player. I think he contributes to winning more. It would probably have to be straight up. I don't think I would attach a pick to RJ Barrett. I think the only way I do it is if it's RJ, OG, straight up. I don't know if you would throw in a first. Would you throw in a first?
I wouldn't give any of my Knicks first. The only first I'd want to give up is the Detroit Pistons one, which is top 18 protected for the next 2 years. Look, I am just really worried about the long-term fit. This is big picture Marsh looking at this. Will RJ Barrett ever be his best version next to Julius Randle? I've always said no. And is RJ Barrett the best fit next to Randle and Brunson, who are clearly the Knicks' direction, whether we disagree or not? I don't think Randle should be, but he is. So you get a top 10 defender and you get a guy that can shoot threes and score 18 points per night. I would do it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We'll be live for the trade deadline as well as videos every single day. Also, another way you can stay up to date on the latest Knicks news and rumors is by giving me a follow over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_.